Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Krishna Mohan, welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. I'm so grateful to have you here today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm really doing great, Christina. Nice to meet you.
You betcha. I love the name of your company, Genius Visionary. Where did you come up with the name? Why did you decide to name your company that?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought because we were always thinking, for a very long time, very long time, as to what can we do to solve problems in the business world. What is it that we can bring into the table, right? Like thinking from the past, that means identifying the problems from the past and what's going on in the present, and what is it that we can do that could change the future. So we are constantly thinking and constantly trying to bring something to the table that can make a difference and change the landscape. Yeah. So that's where the vision comes. We have a vision. Like for example, 30 million small businesses are out there in US. 50% fail in the next 2 years. 85% fail in the next 5 years. According to me, something needs to be done. Something needs to change that. So we have that vision to make that numbers better.
Yeah.
So if we can help few businesses to survive, if we can help some of those ideas, powerful ideas, to survive and thrive and make it happen, then we made a difference. And that's where our vision comes. And there is a vision behind our story.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt that name is appropriate to our thinking process. And from that, we derived everything else that we're doing today in terms of all of our services are revolving around that one single, purpose.
Yeah. Now tell me, what you had just mentioned that so many businesses fail and don't make it to the 2 or 5 year mark. Why do you find that to be the case from your experience? Why do you think that happens?
Yeah, there are so many things, right? Like the number one thing I think what I observed is skills. Business is not just being good at one thing. If you want to start a business, run the business, and then grow the business, you need a lot of skills. So many skills, like sales skills, marketing skills, business skills, organization skills, problem solving skills, process skills, ability to lead people, hiring skills. You need a lot of skills, so most of the small business owners are really not either aware or paying attention to everything else. They're so much focused on that I have money, so I started this business, or I have this great idea, so then I started this business, or I think my product is going to change this game of this particular industry, or I'm good at sales, so then I might start my own business.
Yeah.
Right. I'm doing this marketing for this digital marketing agencies, and then I know my clients are crushing it. Then I might go back and start my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm this specialist, in something, maybe in architecture, maybe in civil engineering or something. So then I'll get back to business. But that's just a good starting point. But that's not enough. The first step is to be aware of the things that you need to be in the business and be successful in the business. Well, once you are aware, then you handle the things that you don't know. Some of the people are not even aware of the things that they don't know.
Mm-hmm. Or what they need to grow their business.
What they need, they don't know. So then we are busy, we start the business, we are so much focused on making things happen, and then we are lost in this process that if I'm not good at leading people, if I'm not good at hiring, if I'm not good at processes, if I'm not good at sales, then those are all my weaknesses, which I'm not even aware. So how many customers do I need to, prospect in order to make one sale?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be wasting your time also, like you said, I'm great at making skateboards or something. Yeah, that's your genius. But are you good at doing all the other bits? And if not, I think sometimes what I notice with myself and other business owners is that in the beginning, you'll waste time on things you're not good at. And
Absolutely.
you probably have no business touching. Maybe your marketing or whatever it might be, or maybe setting up your website. I see some business owners, how does my website look? Is it the right color? La, la. That is not important. Hire someone who knows how to throw that out there. Awesome. And focus on what you're good at.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're wasting a lot of time, not only in the beginning, even at the later steps, later stages, like 5-year-old business, 6-year-old businesses. Mm-hmm. You always have challenges, and there's no place called I have reached this place, so I know everything. It doesn't happen. You're always not good at something. Mm-hmm. Like you're always good at something. You're also not good at something all the time. Mm-hmm. So what the real answer to the question is, you need to at least know what you're good at and what you're not good at, so you hire the specialist. Mm-hmm. So you don't go and waste your time. I'm not good in accounting, so I better know at least to hire a good accountant.
Yeah,
I need to have skills enough to identify a good accountant and hire and bring them on board. That's my job. To get the job done from him is my job. Mm-hmm. And if I don't have the basics to do this, then I get the best accountant, but I manage him poorly and I don't know how to use him. Mm-hmm. It's like you're giving your Ferrari to a 4-year-old. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, very dangerous. Yeah, but
right?
what's a great thing I'd like us to jump into here, we're in the post-COVID era. Let's hope it's post-COVID.
Yeah.
And there's businesses who are struggling. Some of them who weren't equipped for the changes that came with what's happening now, and haven't pivoted to see, okay, now how do I work in the marketplace to serve my client or to give them what their needs are? What is some of your advice or perspective on how businesses can do that pivot?
Right. I think the first things first is majority of the businesses took hit on their revenues. The top line is something that they saw immediate effect, right? Because your customers are, and not walking into your store, or, the buying habits, they have changed, and there's a lot of hesitancy in terms of spending. People are just in waiting and watching mode. They don't want to overspend. All these things are the reality. So the first things first, I think I'm recommending everyone to address their sales issue, their revenues. You need to get that right. And that's the number one challenge, that you have to address that. If what I mean by addressing that is, maybe your traditional models are not working. You have done whatever it is. You have channel managers. You have a channel through which you sell your product, or you do a direct selling, or you do cold calling, or you do something else. But those things, if you think they're not working right now, then you got to change. Mm-hmm. Consider something else. You got to learn how to do it through e-commerce. E-commerce is a great example, right? Everybody is not doing well, but Amazon is doing well.
Yeah. They're kicking butt.
Amazon, yeah, they are. I mean, absolutely. So if something is not working for some industry, something else is working for somebody else. So the question here is, we have to think and we have to be creative, depending on the industry, whether you're financial services industry, or in maybe healthcare industry, or biotech industry, or any other industries. Because each industry has its own dynamics, right? So as a business owner, the number one focus should be top line. Mm-hmm. How do I get my top line right? How do I increase my top line? Now, for that, is my current model working or not? If it is not working, what are the other alternatives available for me, right? And then you have to test it.
Yeah. You
have to test those new models that you want to test it. Can I test this? Can I close a customer over Zoom? Can I do something else? Mm-hmm. Can I hire independent contractors? Can I hire virtual assistants? You have to keep thinking, and then you have to test it. You will never get an answer. May not have an answer. You need to test it. Okay, so why don't you just test it and see if that's working or not? If it is working, then double down, and then do it 10 times.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I love that you say that, Christian, because we had some people on who said, hey, listen, I do laundry service. Everyone came and brought their laundry. They pivoted and said, we're going to go find people to go pick up their laundry, bring it here and do it for them. That's a pivot. And you keep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You keep yourself in. So we have to test it, because there's no cookie cutter answer for this, right? Because nobody has anticipated the situation. Nobody is mentally prepared for, to handle things, for their business. It's the same thing for you, same thing for me, same thing for everybody else. But there's no necessity to give up. There's no necessity to wait and watch. Mm-hmm. Both are not good options.
Yeah.
The best way is to start thinking, mm-hmm. and identifying the different ways, and then testing them, yeah. And then whatever is working, double it down or do it 10 times. That's the number one. Why top line? Because if you have that right, then you have the lifeblood cash flow for the business. Once you have that right, mm-hmm. then you can address other issues like your product issue, your people issue, your processes issue. You can handle all other things. Today, that's the number one problem that I'm seeing with most business owners, and they're not really working on it. They're just somehow waiting and telling me that the customers are not coming in. So again, going back to your website example, so do you have a landing page? Do you have a funnel? Mm-hmm. Do you have a drip campaign? Do you have all of, so they don't answer is no for all of these things, or maybe for some of these things. So if not, then what are you doing about it?
Yeah, you gotta fix it.
So this is how you have to think. You cannot simply say that whatever I'm doing is not working. Okay, so that's a fact. So now what else can we do now?
Yeah. Well, Krishna, what I like that you mentioned is the fact that you've got the option to just, do that pivot. And I think a very good place to start is with your clients. Let's say to your client, hey, what are your needs right now? Now, what you provided them, like with the guy that did laundry service, that what you did for them is their laundry. So you say to the client, okay, how do you need me to serve you now? And they'll tell you what they need. And in this case, they needed you to come and get it from them, and maybe non-contact. I put it on the front doorstep. I pick it up. When I'm done, I come bring it there. And, most people are more than glad to get nice, clean laundry and pay that extra $5 delivery fee.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Your customer is a great source for you to know exactly what works for them. Mm-hmm. You can go back to your existing customers. They'll be more than happy. And then once you're able to listen to them and address their problem, yes, you're right. Most likely they are even open to pay a little more because you are delivering what they want. That's the main thing. I think right now everybody has to focus on top line, make sure that they're going through this stuff for the rest of the year, and then they position themselves well, properly for 2021. And then also think about adding new services, adding new products, or maybe a new business. It's a constant endeavor. You have to keep looking, and or also like I recommend, or even we are focused on acquisitions. Acquisitions is a great way. Acquisitions by the term sounds pretty big, but small businesses can still do that. How can they do that? I'll give you a few tips. They can acquire Facebook groups. You're a small mom and a shop company. You cannot even imagine acquiring a business. Okay, so what can you do? So let's say if your segment is XYZ customers, identify influencers in that space, identify some groups in that space, blogs in that space, magazines in that space, and then try to acquire them. You would be surprised what is possible by that. Then overnight, you have access to that customer base. That's a shortcut. People don't think like this, and then people don't approach things like this, but that's possible. Yeah. That is possible, And
you
then
mentioned something very important, Krishna, that the idea of people waiting for things to get back to normal. They're like, well, I'm just going to wait because things are going to get back to normal, and then I could just go about business as usual. But no, it might not, or it might get worse.
We already lost a year. You're already 8 months into this, and then. The main point here is, Christian, is that we are already used to do things in a different way. We already started doing things in a different way, right? Like you're prospecting over Zoom, you're actually closing deals over Zoom. You're able to get a lot of things done virtually, which you never did before, right? Assuming everything will go back to normal, why would you go back? You won't, because your behavior, your ability to get the job done has become more efficient, and you and the other party both are used to it, why would you do the old school way and waste another 2-3 hours time by driving in the cars and traffic and unnecessary coffee meetings, unnecessary lunches, unnecessary networkings?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because if you were able to get these things virtually by eliminating all that, unwanted, unproductive things, guess what? You can close 4 customers instead of closing 1 customer in the same time.
Yeah.
That means you're ideally supposed to at least double or triple your business.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing.
If you look at it from that productivity perspective, you can be more productive now than before. In fact, I see more productivity now than before.
Absolutely. And what I'm also seeing from clients is, you mentioned Amazon's kicking butt. I'm seeing people say to me, hey, even if things go back to normal, I like things being delivered to my door and not having to go get them. It saves me time. Think about going to the grocery store or whatever. You don't have to go there. You get the same stuff every week. You just have it straight delivered to your house. Boom. There's 2 hours you saved.
That's what it is. So you won't go back. You're expecting yourself to go back, but in reality, you wouldn't go back. Like, if I can get a job done by a phone call, why would I not make a phone call, drive 1 hour, meet the person, and then drive back another 1 hour and waste my 3 hours of time? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So that's the point. So this is a big picture idea, right? It's not one-on-one, my small business versus, it's not about ours. It's the country, the way it's operating. The world has changed. When everything and everybody around are ready to adapt to new way of doing things, all of a sudden, again, everything goes back. Doesn't mean that everybody will go back and start doing things in the world way. It may not.
Yeah.
The human interaction will always be there. The networkings will always be there. All those good things will always be there. But wherever you don't need to, you won't anymore.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Like, if you look at things happen the way they happened in 2019, like look at restaurants, look at bars, or look at conferences, look at any other places. Always so many meetings, always so many networking gatherings, always so many things happening every day. Now, all of a sudden, everything stopped. Does that mean the business stopped? No. How are they able to do it? That's the point. That means we could have done all of these things even before the pandemic also, but we did not do it. It's just a way of doing it. Now you are not even going to office. Majority of the employees are not even going to office, but everything is going seamlessly.
Yeah.
So the point here is that things can be done in much efficient way, provided that we figure out a way to do things.
Yeah. And what I'm loving about this is the time, if you pivot and stop trying to stay in this waiting mode, that actually this could be the perfect time for great opportunity for your business.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So this is the time, like I said, right? Launch your new product. Like, everybody has so many pending projects. I want to start that business. I've been pushing that for the last 2 years. What's stopping you now? You have more time.
Yeah.
Start that new business, start that new idea, launch that new book, or publish that particular article, start a blog, start whatever you have not been doing before. Now you can do it. Nobody's stopping you to do that. Now you can do that. And then, assuming things will go back to normal, then you are doubly efficient, because you not only are running your business, but you also started other things during these times which you were not able to do before.
Boom. Opportunities explode. This has been fabulous points that you brought to the table for our listener. I'm so grateful. Before we leave, let everyone know where they can find out more about you, work with you. How can they do that?
Yeah, so best way is to reach by email. My email is krishna@geniusbusinesscoach.com. Again, krishna@geniusbusinesscoach.com. And then I'm also offering a free book download from my website, which is How I Find 10K for Any Business Within 45 Minutes. I would be glad to help any of your audience to identify that 10K within 45 minutes if they book a session with me. It's all free anyways. And then I'm also going to offer 90 days worth of business coaching from Genius Online Academy, which is our e-learning platform. all they need to do is to write an email to my email requesting for the business coaching for 90 days, referring you or this podcast interview. I'll be happy to do that for your audience today.
Well, thank you. That is so gracious of you. Thank you so much, Krishna. I'm really, really grateful for your wisdom today, sharing with our savvy audience. Thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot, Christina. Have a good day. Bye.
If you like this episode, please share. To hear more savvy episodes and savvy biz tips, go to lifeunscriptedradio.com. To become a guest or participate in paid sponsorship, email us at Christina@lifeunscriptedradio.com.